Hello everyone! Welcome back for some more Let's Read Tsukihime. Last time we had a party, we ended up getting drunk, which actually didn't go anywhere concerning, which is nice. I was a bit worried. We were all a bit worried, especially knowing the game genre that this is. But I was pleasantly surprised, and I hope you were as well. So we're still going down the Akiha route. I'm fairly certain I've hard locked into it. I might not have. I don't know yet. I have no idea where it kind of stops or starts, so we'll see. I assume it would be when, you have to think of why, you have to think of your reason to live for Yumizuka there. I'm assuming it's just that shows you whose route you're on. I don't know. Anyways, let's continue and see what happens. She did say something quite striking last time where she said, expect more days like this. And we were like, what does that mean? So we'll have to see. All right, let's get started with Quiet Dream. It's a Monday. Am I right, gamers? Mondays. Pshaw. Well, this isn't a good way to wake up. That's a really not good way to wake up. Wow, that sounded like we nearly died. Like, what was that? I wake up with a sudden ache. Morning? The clock says it's just past 6:40. The weather outside the window is perfectly cloudless. Oh, pain runs through me. Oh, is it just a hangover? It might just be a hangover. Pain runs through me once again. Not my head or chest, but apparently on the side of my neck. No, that's something quite different than, oh no. That's odd, I've never had pain there before. Let's play the game of how stupid is he gonna be with not putting 2 and 2 together. I put my hand on my neck, but there's no blood. The wound from Yumizuka's bite is already closed. Which might be a bad thing. Now that you think about it, Maybe I have a fever. Is it because of the alcohol last night? My body is heavy and I feel like I have a fever. Good morning, Shiki-sama. Morning, Hisui. Did you sleep well last night? Yes. Please forgive me for my unsightly behavior last night. That's right, you went to sleep. It's okay. I fainted afterwards anyway, which was probably worse. Thank you for your kind words. After you change, please head towards the dining room. She must still be very embarrassed about last night and leaves somewhat flustered. Hisui, maybe. Maybe it's possible for her to be easily embarrassed. I thought she was basically expressionless at first, but when you look at her closely, she gets embarrassed and mad a lot. Next time I should try to make her laugh really hard. That is gonna go terribly. I don't know how to do that, but there's no doubt Hisui's smile would be very cute. Hey, Hisui's smile would look just like Kohaku-san. A boring conclusion. I quickly change and head to the sitting room. You're not wrong. Are they twins? I actually don't know if we were told if they were twins or just sisters with one older, one younger. I actually don't know. I feel like they're probably twins, though. I run into Akiha in the lobby. I guess she's going to school as she's holding her bag. For some reason, my entire body starts to heat up as soon as I see her face. Good morning, Nissan. Yeah. Good morning, Akiha. Thump. My chest starts to hurt. Wow. Is something special going... Oh, wow. Is something special going on today? Or no. Wow, is something special going on today? You're up a full 20 minutes earlier than usual, Nissan. No, I just had a bit of a bad dream, that's all. Just a whim, don't worry about it. I don't understand what I'm saying. It's because of my dream. Suddenly remembering her young face, I can't look at Akiha directly. Nissan? Your face is red. Do you have a fever? No, it's not that. For some reason, I just can't return her gaze. She lifts an eyebrow suspiciously and comes near me. Excuse me. She brings her hand to my forehead. Thump. My heart beats. Akia's palm is not any different from back then. Cold, soft fingertips. Her fingertips touch me for only a matter of seconds when my heart strangely begins to pound harder. If I were to glance down, her face would be right there. Down? So she's shorter. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Her thin, strong eyebrows would show strong will. Her clear black That's blue, my dude. Her clear black pupils with her matching long black hair. Did they tell Takeuchi what color that everything was supposed to be? Because I feel like he just drew whatever. It really is a beauty, unrelated to the name Tono Akiha. My heart beat. I can just imagine how red my face has become. Hey, Akiha, damn, your neck is long. If she doesn't pull back, it'll be troubling. It seems you didn't have a fever. She pulls her fingers away and backs away softly. Just in case, I'll have Kohaku prepare some cold medicine. Please wait in the sitting room, Nissan. With that, Akiha goes up to the second floor. The hands of the clock reach 7. Sorry to keep you waiting. I have cold medicine and water, so please drink it after breakfast, okay? Kohaku-san. My shoulders slump. I'm really glad Kohaku-san brought it, but I was expecting Akiha to bring it, so I'm a little disappointed. Thanks, Kohaku-san. Where's Akiha? I think it's a bit early for her to go to school. No, since there were some formalities to take care of, Akiha-sama left for school early. And you know what, Shiki-san? Kohaku-san looks me in the face with a smile. What? Did I do something again? Yes. I was wondering what you did to Akiha-sama just now. It's been such a long time since I've seen Akiha-sama this happy. I'm curious. Really curious. I didn't really do anything to make her happy. In fact, it's more like I'm the happy one. But Akiha did seem to be in a good mood, didn't she? She was smiling when we ran into each other, and for Akiha to take my temperature just isn't like her at all. It would have been fine just to leave that to Kohaku-san, so that was odd enough. Shiki-san, does anything ring a bell? No, sorry. She definitely did seem in a good mood, but I don't think it was because of me. In the first place, I don't understand Akiha right now at all. She is different than she was 8 years ago. Oh, really? Well, I personally think you are a bit dense at times, but let's leave that there. Well then, please eat breakfast, Shiki-san. It's waiting for you in the dining room. Thanks as always. Give a quick bow of my head and head to the dining room. Shiki-san, what you said earlier was mistaken. Mistaken? What was? Akiha-sama has not changed one bit from the past. I think the one who's making Akiha hard to understand is you, Shiki-san. Leaving me with a phrase loaded with meaning, Kohaku-san disappears towards the lobby. Huh. Curious. Shiki-sama, what time will you be returning today? In the evening. I don't have anything special to do, so I'll be back by 4. I would not call for the evening. If you were to ask me when the evening was, I would say the evening starts at 5:30 p.m. And anything before that is afternoon. Well, after 12 at least. Right? I feel like that makes sense. I feel like that's how most people talk, but maybe it's a Japanese thing. I don't know. There's a couple of those that are just like, they sneak up at you and they're like, surprise, here's a difference. I understand. I will no longer be able to wait for you here, but please call for me if you need anything when you return. Unable to wait by the gate? What does she mean by that? Please have a safe journey, Shiki-sama. I'm off. Raising a hand to the bowing Hisui, I exit the front gate of the mansion. Since I woke up early, I can take my time going to school. I walk leisurely down the road to school, which I normally jog down. Nice morning. I walk slowly and arrive at the gate 10 minutes before it closes. It's the time when all the students who don't participate in clubs arrive. In a high school prepping for general entry like mine, the only clubs practicing in the morning are the athletic clubs. It's only natural for the school gate to be this crowded. Senpai. I see CL Senpai walking ahead a bit of me. Senpai! Call out to stop her. Good morning, Tono-kun. It's rare to meet you by the entrance here. Yeah, well, I saw you from behind, so I ran up to meet you. Do you always come at this time? Yes, I'm bad at getting up early, so I always just barely make it. Did you oversleep today? No, I actually woke up earlier. You know, I normally make it right as the gate is about to close. Wow, you mean you're a late riser, Tono-kun? Huh? I might have something on my face as Senpai stares right at me. Senpai? Tono-kun, did something happen over the weekend? Yo, I got sloshed. I mean, I got completely demolished. Not really. Why do you ask, Senpai? Oh, it's nothing. I was just playing around. Please forget about it. Women are confusing. I'm a little bewildered. And then, at that moment, I see a familiar face running vigorously from the entrance. That's Inui-kun. Senpai says this calmly. Yeah, it's Inui. I try answering her calmly. Senpai and I don't even think the actions of a rampaging Arihiko. Don't think of the action. Well, don't... What? Okay, Senpai and I don't even think the actions of the rampaging Arihiko. Don't think the actions of the rampaging Arihiko as he dashes towards us are odd at all. That's a bad sentence. That would be... I would hand that back to the editor of this fan translation, be like, bro, you gotta change that. There's such better ways to say that. In other words, we're used to it. Like, it makes sense, but it's just not a great way, because on cold read, it's very confusing. Ta-da! A cloud of dust kicks up behind him. He does not stop. Even though we are right in front of him, Arihiko launches a drop kick in my direction without even pausing. Well, we have Arihiko's quarter circle back 3, you know? We have his quarter circle back, like, you know, we got his Tatsu. I am campaigning for Arihiko in the new Melty Blood. I'm campaigning for him. He deserves his time. Crash, roll, 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 thud. I can't believe it. This guy, this person, throws a kick full force into me, and we suddenly crash into the ground and roll 3 times. I get up and shake off all the dust from my clothes, or it could just be his forward heavy too. Kind of a big band situation. Arihiko also stands up and pats his uniform. Arihiko, Toto, Rex, Shepard. After a 3-second interval, we face off directly. Ready? What the hell are you doing? What? What? You have a sister? Bro. Dude, don't go against the bro code. Trust me. You do not want to cross that barrier. It leads to bad stuff. It leads to your friend having to track down the IP address of someone who says, "Hey, if you don't date her, she's going to kill her." It's bad. It's bad. Don't do it. Don't break the bro code. I feel like Inui would absolutely break the bro code. Both of us shout simultaneously. What? Wait a second. How do you know that I have a sister? But you do have one after all. Arihiko holds his head in his hands, twists his body. It's so ridiculous looking, I would deny knowing him even if he owed me 1,000,000 yen. Hey, cut it out, Arihiko, please. We'll end up being the laughingstock of the school. Screw that, I don't care. Arihiko looks up with a glare. You traitor. I'll call you Oni-san someday. Did he just make a bold declaration he's gonna date our sister? That's kind of a Sigma male move. Leaving such an incomprehensible parting shot, Arihiko runs off. How does he know? Not towards the school building, but to the front gate. What's he doing? There isn't even 5 minutes until homeroom starts. Nothing about him is understandable. Anyways, it seems like I won't run across him for the rest of the day. Huh. During the break after second period, Arihiko suddenly returns. Huh. After thinking about it for a while, I had no reason to go home. Saying so, he calmly takes his seat. Leaving him alone, I stare blankly in my seat and wait for third period to start. The classroom seems odd today. Every break, all the guys leave the room and come back with happy look. I think I know what's happening. Oh god, that super explains this will be your everyday from now on. Oh, okay. Oh, that's gonna... Okay, Every break, all the guys leave the room and come back with happy looks on their faces. I'm a bit curious. Hello, Tono-kun. Do you mind? Huh? It's break time, senpai. Is it okay for you to come to my classroom like this? Yes, being here is much more fun than being in my classroom. She smiles happily as she says this. Arihiko sits at his desk, unaware of Senpai's arrival. It is quite the ideal situation. But the second-year classrooms are pretty noisy, too. The third-year boys have also been making a fuss, and I imagine the fourth floor is overcrowded by now. Huh? The third-year boys making a fuss? About what? Oh, you're not making a big deal out of it. Well, there's no reason for you to go look, Tono-kun. Oh god, I don't quite understand, but it seems there's no reason for me to go look. What do you mean? Go see what? The new first-year transfer student. All the boys in every class are taking turns to go see her. Apparently the hallway outside her classroom is very crowded. She's awfully popular. Transfer student? In other words, that's where all the guys in my classroom went to. Oh, so that means she's really cute, this new transfer student. I don't know, but that's what I've heard. They say a girl in the first year transferred from a famous ladies' academy. I see. For someone to transfer this time of year, there must be some strange circumstances. You thought so too, huh? It seems like a waste. Why is she transferring from the distinguished Asagami Women's Academy to go here? Huh? Oh, what a coincidence. My sister's also a first-year student at... Gears turning. I am starting to think and use my brain. Choto a minute. There's something not quite right about this whole conversation. Senpai sounds like I know this transfer student already. Please don't mind. Starting tomorrow, your daily life will become more like this. That's what I thought. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, is she saying? Since there were formalities to take care of, Akiyo-sama left for school early. No way. I'm shocked. I'm shocked, but that's the only conclusion I can draw. Tono-kun? I can't hear Senpai's voice anymore. I look over at Arihiko's desk, and he has an especially evil grin on his face. I walk purposefully over to his desk. Arihiko. Oh? What could it possibly be, Oni-sama? I'll punch you for saying that. Hey, can't you take a joke? What is it? Is there a reason you would talk to a commoner like me? Arihiko laughs. Reason? Well, I do have a reason this time. Arihiko, can you tell me the name of this new transfer student? Man, you should know without me saying anything, right? Yeah, her name is Tono Akiha, your younger sister. Jeez, you even kept it a secret from me. I would have found out quickly since she's that hot. I really doubted our friendship this time. No, there's never been that sort of illusion between us, but I see. Totally drained, I answer and return to my seat. Tono-kun? Senpai is speaking, but I just don't feel like responding. Huh. You seem to be having trouble, so I'll go back. Senpai walks out of the room lightly. The key has transferred to my school. What is she thinking? Muttering aloud in astonishment, I fall into my chair. Oh boy, I didn't know this happened. Third period starts and English class begins. The sound of fluent English goes in one ear and out the other. My head is only full of thoughts about Akiha right now. This English is just noise to me. As always, Akiha's Akiha. If she's going to transfer to my school, couldn't she at least tell me? No, more importantly, she transferred to my school when there's no advantage for her to do so. Ah. Pain again. Sharp pain in my neck. I fall onto my desk. This is bad. I can hardly move. Is it anemia again? Then it's just as always. It's normal. It'll pass. I'm in class. I just have to recover. Look, the English teacher's reading aloud. The blackboard. Chalk. Chalk dust. English. The sound of chalk scraping. Teacher. Teacher. Adult. Podium. The creaking podium. Desk. 36 desks. Student. Students. 36 students. 3 days ago there were 37. Window. Sky. Schoolyard. Sun. Unpopular. Lonely. Cold. Frightened. Uneasy. Something. Desire. 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 Oh man, by the end you kind of got uncreative about it. Tonoku, who's this? Tonokun, are you alright, Tonokun? My eyes open wide at the sound of the teacher's voice. Sweat rolls down my forehead. My body's cold. My breathing is ragged. What is it, Tonokun? If you're not feeling well, you can rest. No, I'm fine. It's past. I see. Well, don't push yourself. Your grades are good, so it is acceptable to take an occasional rest. Your progress will be satisfactory, even with some handicaps. The English teacher's words lack a little consideration for the other students. I once again declare I'm fine and resume class. I mean, as a teacher, you gotta jump up at that and be like, hey, like, I recommend this, but at lunch, the classroom gets frantic. I take a deep breath. I've been hot since this morning. Maybe I've caught a cold. My whole body feels languid.
What, Tono? Are you still sticking around here?
Yeah. I don't feel too well today. I can't go to the cafeteria, so can you please get me something? I'll have the usual.
No, I don't mind, but is that alright? Your dear sister seems to be having trouble in the cafeteria.
That's right. She's always been at a ladies' academy, so she wouldn't know anything about how a normal school cafeteria system works. I can distinctly imagine Akia sitting in the cafeteria not knowing what to do. She'll actually use, like, proper cutlery and table manners. Disgusting. Damn, I can't leave her like that.
Tono, wait up. I'm coming too.
I dash out of the classroom. Close behind me, Arihiko follows a bit more energetic than usual. He just wants an in. Akia stands aghast in the center of the crowded cafeteria. She looks as if she does not know what to do. Jeez, what is she doing? I hurry over to Akiha. Akiha. Ni-san. This is a new outfit, right? She didn't wear this before. But how... Is that what... Because that's not what... Why does her outfit look different? That's not what CL wears, right? In that instant, I see her face on the verge of tears and my chest starts to hurt. Come on, over here. You don't like the crowds, right? Yes. Not wanting to see her almost crying face a second longer, I strongly pull Akia out of the cafeteria. God, those bread lines. Here, you should be able to relax here. I'll go buy us some lunch, so just sit at this bench. Yes, I apologize for the trouble, Nissan. It's alright. I'll hear about it later. Arihiko, I'm gonna get lunch, so take care of Akiha, okay?
But why asking me all of a sudden? Now that I'm actually beside her, I'm like kind of a Dorcas. I don't know what to do. Look, I'll go buy lunch and you keep your sister company, Tono.
What's the matter, Arihiko? Aren't you gonna call me Oni-san? I'll tell you right now, but I won't give you a chance like this in the future. I whispered to Arihiko. He whispers back, maintaining her secrecy.
Right, but I can't be with her alone all of a sudden. If it was any other woman, I agree, but your sister is just too high class.
Huh? This isn't like you at all. Are you scared of Akia?
Yeah! To be honest, I am! Since she's the type I've never went against, I'd like to concentrate on getting information in the first round.
Why is he always this funny at strange times? Alright, then you can go get lunch for the three of us.
Leave it to me. What does your sister want? I'm too scared to buy her ordinary cafeteria bread.
As if I would know. She transferred here, so curry bread and coffee milk would be good enough.
Roger. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Arihiko returns to the building in a dash. You seem to be very good friends with him, Nissan. Huh? Where did all her vulnerability go? She's suddenly back to normal. Yeah, we get along especially well. But more importantly, Akiha! Please don't yell at me like that. People around us are surprised. What? More importantly, can you answer me? That person, what is he to you, Nissan? What is he? He's just an unwanted but inseparable guy who's been with me since middle school. No, that's not what we're talking about. Ask her why she transferred. I should introduce. Why does she pretend to be naive?
I need to know, why are you here?
Mariko, just one of my classmates. But you haven't answered my question either. Very well. What is it, Nissan? What is it? Why have you transferred to this school? What possible reason could you have for transferring to a second-rate elevator school? Oh, I love that term. Elevator school. Like it's just a step. It's elevator. Just that's it, right? That's such a beautiful. I've never heard that term, but it makes so much sense. Like you have schools that specialize in stuff. My hands are freaking out. You know, you have schools that specialize in stuff, and you have schools that are just kind of a means. But like elevator, it's just year 1, year 2, year 3, and you're out, right? Next group, right? It's a lovely metaphor. So you say, Nissan, but I can go to school wherever I choose. I do not need to explain myself to you. But don't be stupid. I'm your brother.
I'm your brother. I'm your brother. I'm your brother.
Sorry, that line's been ruined for me. I just can't overlook things that are against your best interests.
Me back, I'm not done yet.
Frankly, I can't see any benefit in you transferring to this school. Since our old man isn't around anymore, it's my responsibility to look out for you. What? It's not fair to say things like that at times like these. Not fair is my line. What are you thinking, transferring without telling me? I won't accept this transfer until I hear a good reason. If I'm not satisfied with the reason, I'll send you right back to your own school. So tell me, Akiha, why'd you change schools? Akiha falls silent and looks down. Very brief for a moment later, she raises a brave face. I was worried about you, Nissan. Is that not a sufficient reason? Yes? Okay, sounds good. 10 out of 10 for me. Acceptable. Absolutely acceptable. It makes sense. I mean, honestly, it just makes sense from a financial and living standpoint to have everyone in the same school. I don't know. Then again, I don't know. That might not be true. I don't know, actually. But it does for high school, at least. Hang on. What do you mean worried about me? What sort of reason is that for transferring? Well, looking at your unruly behavior recently, I decided that in order to prevent you from disgracing the Tono name, I would have to keep a close eye on you. He explains clearly. When she says unruly behavior, I can't help but nod. It's true, my everyday life since coming here has surely been an annoyance to Akiha and the others. But transferring's still a bit much, isn't it? What about your friends? That's none of your concern, Nissan. If you even feel a little bad for me, then all you have to do is change your way of thinking from now on. Akiha turned sharply away. Well, that's just the way she is. Alright, do as you please. But one day you'll regret it. That's fine. I wasn't thinking of having you worry over me, Nissan. With a sound of exasperation, Akiha starts to sulk.
Here you go. Lunch for 3 people. Huh? What, am I interrupting something?
No, nothing of the sort, Senpai. You are a friend of Nissan? I am Tonoshiki's younger sister, Akiha. It is a pleasure to meet you. Akiha bows softly.
Not at all, the pleasure's mine. I'm Inui Arihiko. I've known Tono since junior high, but today was the first time I've found out about you, Akiha-chan.
Maybe he's still holding a grudge against me for not telling him about her, as he says things he doesn't have to. Alright, Arihiko, let's eat. Lunch break is short, so no time for chit-chat with Akiha. I ignore Akiha glaring at me and accept the lunch from Arihiko. Here, Akiha. Here's curry bread and milk, and you can eat them here. There isn't much time, so you can't take too long over them. I know that. I'm not a child, so you don't have to explain every little thing to me.
That's right, Tono. Aren't you a bit mean to Akiha-chan?
Arihiko boos at me. Ignoring them, I open my own bread and stick the straw into my milk. Yum yum milkies. Munch, munch, munch. Suckle, suckle, suckle. Right, lunch is over, so it's time to get back to class. Nissan, Akiha speaks up timidly. Looking over, I see that she hasn't even opened her curry bread yet. What is it, Akiha? You're not hungry? Well, it's not that, it's just... She glances upward like she's embarrassed or something. Could you teach me how to eat these? You put it in your mouth and chew. I don't know if you've seen what curry bread looks like, but it's not that complicated. I'm gonna Google it just to show you. I typed in curry beard accidentally, and I got Steph Curry. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. Yeah, it's really not that difficult. Like, it's just... You just pop it in your mouth. That's it. You just eat it. It's the simplest sort of treat. Like, there's Japanese food that, like, if you were to show me, I'd be like, I need to be taught how to eat this. But curry bread is literally just... You pop it in. She glances hesitantly towards me. And what am I supposed to say?
What do you mean, how to eat them? Just break open the wrapper and eat it. It's not hard, is it, Tono?
Oh, is she gonna be like, where's the cutlery? Arihiko, sorry, could you get a napkin from the cafeteria?
Me?
I nod silently.
Fine, but you'll owe me one.
Arihiko runs off towards the school building again. Alright, give it to me. You open the bag here, like this, and you just bite into it. It's okay, but don't expect too much for the taste. Kawaku-san's cooking, and this are like heaven and earth. Really, Nissan? I'm not kidding. Or what are you gonna say? Don't tell me that even though you've transferred to our school, you can't eat our food. I don't want to think less of you. No, it's not that. It's just... This bread, it's so big, I don't think I could get it into my mouth. What are... What are you... You take bites. No one said you have to eat it all in one bite. What the hell were they feeding you at that school? It's bread, so you bite off a bit at a time. You'll get crumbs around your mouth, but Arihiko's bringing you a napkin to wipe it, okay? Yes, thank you, Nissan. Saying so, Akiha starts to bite into the curry bread. I don't think there was ever a girl this nervous. You're getting this nervous to start eating curry bread. Wow, what is going on? It's a few minutes after I nearly said Arihika, which is the ship name for Arihiko and Akiha. It's a few minutes after Akiha finished her lunch. Arihiko's appearance doesn't seem to bother her, as they're engaged in pleasant conversation. So, Inui-san, you've been a friend of Nissan since junior high school.
Yeah, I've known him for about 5 years now. He's been a bothersome guy since the moment we met. I helped him out with all kinds of stuff, and before I knew it, he kind of grew on me.
Arihiko, that's the wrong word. You should call it extortion.
Whatever you want to call it, we're stuck with each other.
Arihiko laughs. Yeah, kind of like how stuff sticks to the bottom of your shoe. I guess we both give each other a lot of trouble. I return Arihiko's laugh cynically. Somehow Akiha seems to have trouble stomaching Arihiko and myself.
Oh, by the way, Akiha-chan, can I ask you something?
Certainly, if it is something I can answer.
Well, I've been wondering for a while now. Tono has chronic anemia, right?
Was he always like this? The amazing thing about Arihiko is how he is so straightforward when asking awkward questions like this. Yes, Nissan has been anemic since birth, but all the people of the Tono family have similar problems. He is not a special case. Really, Akiha? Yes. Father suffered from manic depression. That's slightly different than anemia, but okay. Divergent identity disorder, to give it its full name. Wait. Isn't divergent identity disorder... Divergent identity disorder. Isn't that something else? Huh. Because is that's not DID, is it? I don't know what that is actually. Because there's DID, dissociative identity disorder. But then there's histrionic personality disorder. I don't know. I'm too stupid. I'm very, very stupid. I shouldn't be looking at What? Okay. Look, I play a Type Moon game. Historical figures? I can look that up. New words? I can look that up. Medical stuff? Big mistake. Don't look it up. It makes no sense ever. There's just so much text. It's never worth it.
What? Divergent identity?
More commonly called split personalities. Okay. Okay, so we're just going... Okay, alright. Though Father's wasn't severe enough to cause muddiness of memory. I didn't know. But looking back on it, Tono Makihisa's character did seem to switch often from tenderness to brutality. So it was a medical condition, that old man. Look at it like that, everything becomes clear. Before the accident, I always felt Father was a tender man who kept his distance. But after the accident, Makihisa clearly hated me. Looking back, it may have been because of his condition.
Ugh. Lunch break's over, Tono.
Don't complain to me about it. Come on, Akiya, you should hurry back to your classroom. It'll be embarrassing to be late on your first day at school. I understand. Take care, Nissan. As the bell resounds, we return to our classrooms. Are we gonna, walk home together? A day full of ups and downs finishes. What should I do? Well, the answer's obvious. Let's go to check on her. The events which happened during lunch still weigh on my mind. I'm sure she can walk home alone, but I feel I ought to go and check on Akiha. I walk along the corridor lit by the fading sun. I think Akiha's class is first grade class 1. Classroom is silent. A girl stands in the empty red classroom. Uh-oh. I feel a little dizzy. Oh, we should have saved. The classroom died by the evening glow. Alone, a girl with long, faintly red hair, preparing to leave. No, they've specifically... Wait. There's one thing I'm not going to say anything. No matter how I look at her, she's Akiha. So why? Why do I feel as if I'm seeing a stranger for the first time? Nissan? She calls out to me, the dizziness subsides. You're Akiha, right? Nissan, are you feeling poorly again? Akiha addresses me in her usual tone. Looking at Akiha's black hair, I feel like, without a doubt, this is my own little sister, Tono Akiha. It's nothing. Come on, Akiha, it's time to go back. You're not doing anything. Do you want to walk home together? Yes, if you don't mind, let's walk home together. For some reason, Akiha smiles tenderly. God, you are dense. My heart thumps. Perhaps it's the dizziness from earlier. Perhaps it's the strangeness of seeing Akiha in my own school. Definitely not a weird thing going on with my psychology. For some reason, my heart beats far harder than it needs to. I leave the school building with Akiha. As we reach the school gates, I catch sight of Senpai waving at me. Ah, you came in last, Tono-kun. Huh? Senpai? What are you doing standing here like this? Jeez, I wasn't standing here. I was waiting for you, Tono-kun, but... Senpai glanced at Akiha next to me. Somehow, at a glance, she realizes that Akiha and I are walking home together. I mean, that just makes sense. Tonokun, is this your little sister? Senpai throws a sidelong glance at Akiha. Akiha says nothing. Nothing is said, but both Senpai and Akiha tell me with their eyes to introduce me to this person. It seems it's going to be a really tiresome job. Senpai, this is my younger sister Akiha. She transferred to our school just today. Akiha bows to Senpai. I see. Hello. My name is Ciel, and I'm a friend of Tonokun. What is it? Senpai and Akiha just stare at each other, saying nothing. Oh, there's something. Senpai, you sound like you were waiting for me. What's going on? Well, it just happened that I want to spend a little time with you, but... Well, since it's already late today, I'll leave it for another time. Bye, Tonokun. See you tomorrow as well, Akiha-san. Also, yeah, that's a totally different outfit. That's a 100% different outfit. So, like, I guess Akiha's just wearing something different because she can. Bye, says Senpai as she walks from us. Why doesn't she get the orange vest? Is she just like too warm for it? I don't know. Senpai leaves without giving me a chance to stop her. Let's go home, Nissan. It will get dark soon. Akiha says this as if nothing had happened. Yeah, there's something going on there. They definitely know each other. It's like we got a little bit of that in one of the earlier routes where there was a little bit of like just CL coming in the mansion, it was fine, and you're like, wait, what? Like, what's happening? Or like them seeing each other, and it's like, there's something up here, right? I walk with Akiha towards the mansion. Frankly, it's difficult. If I look beside me, I can see Akiha walking with her long hair fluttering. Or are you gonna have a flashback with Yumizuka again? But you gotta let it go. Akiha is silent and graceful, the perfect daughter of their respected family. Why can't I think of anything to say? Even though I see Akiha at home every day, I somehow feel more tension walking home toward the mansion. Well, we arrive at the mansion. Akiha steps forward toward the gate, but as if remembering something, turns to me. I have one question. How close are you to that person called CL, Nissan? Abruptly, she asks an extremely forward question. Not especially close. We're just friends from school. She feels like someone I can talk to. Really? Akiha says, turning away and going through the gates. See, on a normal, like, if this was like one of my first playthroughs, which it can't be, you gotta play through the game once to get here, I'd be like, oh, is she jealous? But it's clearly not that case at all. She's legitimately like, yo, hold up. I know this person. She's kind of whack, you know? We cross the courtyard and arrive at the door. As Hisui is not waiting at the gates and Kohaku is not sweeping the garden, there's no sign of either of them today. Ah. Yes? Did you say something, Nissan? Nothing much. I'd just like to go and take a look at the Japanese-style building you were talking about, if that's okay. The detached building? Murmuring, Akiha's brow creases with concern. Please do not. It was sealed up many years ago. Nissan, even you are not permitted to go there. Having stated this, Akiha goes in the mansion. You can't tell a boy that without him wanting to go. It's a bit past 5 in the evening. It's about an hour free time before dinner. Between now and dinner, should I spend time in my room or... Part of me wants to go to that room, but part of me doesn't want to go against her word, so let's go to the sitting room. If we go to the sitting room, there should be someone there. Being with company is surely more pleasant than being alone. I enter the sitting room and see Kohaku-san. Nope, don't want to be with you. You're not the girl I'm pursuing on this route. Let's try the detached building. It's bugging me how Akiha said that. She said not to enter the detached building under any circumstances. The way she said it gets me more curious. Besides, the Japanese-style room is only located there. I do feel like I want to take a look at it. I guess it's alright if I don't get caught. I silently apologize to Akiha and decide to walk to the exit quietly. Just sneaking on through. The sun is set and it is pitch black outside. How? If you live in any city, how is it pitch black outside? Oh, I guess there's a forest. Sure. I walk through the woods, which seems more like a forest. I didn't quite remember quite where it was, but as I entered the forest, my feet automatically head toward the detached building. Even if I forgot where it was, I guess my body remembers how to get there. At any rate, I am able to get to the detached building without getting lost. That's good. Most people don't get lost on their own property. You bougie frick. It must have been many years since this building was put out of use, as many parts are deteriorated. As I put my hand on the door, I notice that it is unlocked. It's dark inside, as expected. I smell the tatami mats and the shoji, and somehow feel comfortable, even though I can't see anything. As I enter the Japanese-style room, a chill runs through my spine. I know this place. I guess I came here as a kid since this Japanese-style room was interesting. But it's weird. I feel the same sense of incompatibility I had when I was first shown my room after I came back to this mansion. Maybe because the Arima's house was Japanese style. I feel like I've lived here all my life. Or maybe, if I recall in the past, when we were playing in the yard, maybe it wasn't just me and Akiha. Oh, he's discovering the truth. I feel a pain in my neck. It might be my anemia, but my body feels like lead. This is bad. I have to go back to my room. I shake my head lightly. Decide to go back to my room before I really faint. Oh! Oh, hello, Shiki-san. What are you doing at a place like this? Kawaku-san suddenly enters the room. I look around to see what I can do. There's no place to hide. Besides, she's already seen me. Hey now, you can't come in here. Kia-sama told us to never let you in here. Yeah, she told me today. She told me, but... You got curious? I understand. I'll let you go this time, but please don't come here again. This building is old and a bit dangerous. The building is old and a bit dangerous, huh? It's a weird reason, but it still makes sense. I'm sorry, but what was this building used for? You say it's not used now, but did someone use it before? Yes, this used to be the servants' residence. Before you went to the Arimas, this mansion had many servants. It was impossible to let all the servants live in the mansion, so Makihisa-sama constructed this detached building. I see. Well, this place was the servants' residence. I kind of guessed that earlier. It does make sense now that she mentions it. If you have a mansion this big, such a thing would certainly be needed. But why? Why is Akiya trying to get me away from this place? Shiki-san, we should go back to the mansion, or Akiya-sama might find out. Oh, I'm sorry. I shake off the faint doubt remaining and decide to go back to the mansion with Kawaku-san. Dinner, as usual, is a quiet affair with just me and Akiha. Kawaku-san stands behind Akiha, and Hisui stands behind me during our wordless dinner. That's weird, don't like that, please sit down. The only thing different is the way Akiha's acting. Until now, whenever my tableware made noise, Akiha would look up with a scowl. Oh, thank God she got over that. That would be the worst. Today, however, Akiha makes quite a lot of clattering herself. In the end, I'm going back to my room. Please clean up my dinner. Saying so, she leaves the dining room behind. What's with her? She wasn't like that when we were walking back together. Hisui says nothing. Kawaku-san collects the tableware, smiling as ever. And then, in the lobby, I hear the sound of someone falling. Akiha! Fearing the worst, I race towards the lobby. Did she just bump her head or something? There I see Akiha leaning on the stairs. Her breathing is irregular and I can hear her wheezing from here. Her face is pale and there are beads of sweat on her skin. I can see with a single glance that she's not okay. Hey, Akiha! Don't come near me. I stop, leaning on the stairs. Akiha refuses me violently. What? Don't come near you? What are you talking about? I don't know what happened, but I can't just leave you like that. I'm fine, just don't come any closer, Nissan. Akiha breathes heavily. Hey, my heart pounds. Akiha just breathes painfully. There's something wrong with me. For a moment, I feel like it resembles the figure of Yumizuka Satsuki. Buddy, that's a bit weird. Akiha. I'm fine, so please don't come near me. If you come near me, there's no way I'll be able to... So don't come any closer. As long as you are not around, I'll be fine, so... What is happening? With an audible sound, Akiha collapses once more. Akiha-sama? Kohaku passes me, running towards Akiha. Bit weird to have her smile there. She whispers something to Akiha and helps her up. With Kohaku-san's help, Akiha returns to her room. What was that about? I really don't understand. Akiha's tormented condition, telling me not to come near her, yet she lets Kohaku-san help her. Shiki-sama. Hisui, what was that? Why was Akiha like that? At times, Akiha lapses into sudden dyspnea. I said I wouldn't Google medical terms, but here we go. Dyspnea. Oh, frick, this was brought up in another thing. Yeah, it's shortness of breath. Just as with your anemia, Akiha-sama too is a member of the Tono family. Ah, members of the Tono family do have such conditions. Akiha said that during lunch. Weird I didn't know that until now, and now every time it's being brought up, which is a bit strange. It can't be, Akiha always seems so healthy. Akiha-sama tried her best to keep it a secret from you. We were also ordered not to speak to Shiki-sama about it. There's nothing to be said. I can only look aghast up at the stairs Akiha just ascended. Well then, good night. Please leave Akiha-sama's condition in Nason. As Makihisa-sama was under her care for many years, she has medical experience. I guess so. If we leave Akiha to Kohaku-san, I'm sure she'll be fine. Since there doesn't seem to be anything I can do, it seems I'll just have to leave her to Kohaku-san. Shiki-sama, it is rare for Akiha-sama to be like that. Since it can be easily relieved with medication, I do not think you need to worry. Rather than be concerned with her treatable condition, Akiha-sama is concerned more about your health, Shiki-sama. I know. Damn it, I'm a crappy older brother. I guess I really didn't realize anything at all. You do not know anything. Hisui murmurs to herself, looking down. Hisui? What is it? Don't say that even you feel bad. No, it is just... Shiki-sama, do you really remember nothing about the detached building? Eh? Remember what? Hisui, that's... You really became Tonoshiki, did you not, Shiki-sama? Wow, that means a lot to us, but not the characters! Hisui? That detached building fell into disuse right after you left the Arima family. Makihisa-sama decided to demolish it, but as Akiha-sama objected strongly, it remains standing today. So, Shiki-sama, if you think anything of all at Akiha-sama, please do not approach the detached building. Well, now I feel like an absolute tool. So I'm going to... I didn't mean to save. Let's load. Now I feel like a tool. So I'm going to not go into the detached room. Well, I don't have exactly anything, so I'll just take it easy in my room. Are we just going to skip? Is it just the same? Oh, well, okay, so let's see. Because I feel bad that I went there now. So let's not. Dinner, as usual, is a quiet affair with just me and Akiha. Yep, that's the same. The only thing left is how she's acting. Okay, let's just see if there's anything new. And then, okay, so she still falls. So, okay. She still falls. Okay. I wanted to see if us going there made her fall. That was kind of the big thing. I wanted to see if that was the case. So, that's okay. Oh wow, it really goes back as far as the scene. Saying so, Hisui leaves the room as if she were running. I thought that was the reason why. Now we know. It's 10 o'clock and all the mansion lights go off. I can't sleep. Akiha, the detached building she wants to keep a secret from me. Okay, now this is curious. I'm biting my lip right now. They say to not. So I won't. I will trust her word. No. I'll keep my promise with Akiha. Akiha told me not to go there, and I can't break a promise just because of trifling curiosity. Even if I've pretty much already solved the mystery. Calm drowsiness permeates my body. I'll keep quiet tonight and sleep. Hot. 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 My throat dry with thirst. Hot. I can't sleep like this. I'll go get a drink of water. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This isn't good. It seems I went into town at night. It seems I'm waiting with bloodshot eyes for someone to pass by. It is hot. Suddenly I see a face reflected in the window. The eyes are bloodshot and the face looks quite insane. It is just so hot. It seems I found my prey. Strangling for her from behind, it's all over. It seems the unknown woman has died just from that. I am just so hot. Taking the dead body, perhaps I bit into its throat. There's a gurgling sound, drinking the blood flowing out of the rended neck. My thirst is quenched. I don't understand. The sound of heavy breathing. Wrong button. Does this act really excite me so much? I stick my finger in the chest of the dead body. The sound of crushing meat, the sound of crushing bones. The sound of a heart being ripped out with my bare hand. As I watch, my head fills with pure white. This, the ultimate pillage, the height of immorality. Just gazing at it, I feel hot. You might say it's negative pleasure, but for making one hot, it's still the same. I don't understand. Hot blood dripping from my mouth, I gaze up at the night sky entranced. My long hair waves around. Long hair? Long... Shiki really doesn't have long hair. Above is the spiraling sky. Such a beautiful silver moon. And so I don't understand. I'm only hot. But we've never been out of Shiki's perspective, so... Who could that be? Who could that be? Very curious. So... part of me wants to go back and see what happens if I go to the detached building now. But hold on. Hisui's words bother me, but I went to the detached house earlier. I know there's nothing there. I'll keep quiet tonight and sleep. Is this going to be the same now? Hot, hot, hot. Oh, is it the same? Oh, it's the same. Oh god, no matter what, we're going into town to kill people. Oh no. Is it because we went to the detached house, period? Is it just simply because we went to the detached house? Did that activate something in us? I wonder. We'll have to see. Alright guys, we'll continue next time from Deep Dream. And if this is a dead end, then we'll go back and not go to the detached building because we were told to not. And we'll see what happens. Alright guys, I'll see you then for some more Tsukihime. Ciao.